Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 21 online game. Today we have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The #1 overall pick, Joe Burrow, will be the quarterback for Cincinnati, but we are focusing on the San Francisco 49ers superstar tight end, George Kittle, today. You guys have spoken in the comments section, and you guys want to see George Kittle get his X Factor activated. My opponent does not want to see that, so as we try to go to Kittle on the first play, he gets the interception with William Jackson. So, yeah, you guys left a comment on the last video with Christian McCaffrey. A lot of you guys want to see this new YAC up ability that George Kittle has, and I'm all for taking you guys' suggestions in the comment section. So, for future videos, definitely leave comments below on which player you guys want to see get their X Factor next. So, George Kittle last year had Rack 'em Up, the same ability that Odell and a couple of other receivers had. Rack 'em Up, not too special. This year, George Kittle specifically, I believe, is the only player right now with this new ability called YAC 'em Up, where once you get yardage after the catch, you have a better chance of breaking your first tackle. It's almost like freight train for a receiver, except the fact that George Kittle is a tight end. Then again, it's hard to label George Kittle as one position because he is a downfield receiver. Obviously, he fits well at the tight end position, and he's a great blocker. So Kittle really is the full package. But I think what people love the most about George Kittle's game is his physicality. Kittle can go downfield, get a lot of yardage after the catch, but especially everybody has that play from the Saints versus 49ers game etched in their minds when George Kittle willed the Saints to a loss by getting the 49ers into field goal range, carrying people, getting a face mask penalty. Nothing mattered to Kittle except moving that ball downfield. And when you see Kittle make catches, even in Madden, it just looks so graceful. Once he gets it, man, he's thinking about what comes next. Who is the next target downfield? He's got the catch, but who wants that smoke from number 85? Thus, George Kittle, perhaps the best tight end in the league right now, along with Travis Kelce, of course. But man, Kittle is quite the weapon. We're focusing on him today. He gets the touchdown, so that's a lot of Kittle love for you right there. And yeah, now without further ado, we have to get George Kittle this YAC 'em Up X Factor, which requires 5 receptions of at least 20 yards. Now, notice it's receptions and not just catches. If it just said, like, catches for 20 yards, that means George Kittle would have to be at least 20 yards downfield by the time he caught the football, like the way Double Me works. But since this is like Rack 'em Up, except, of course, it's YAC 'em Up, we can get a catch about 10 yards or take a bubble screen, and as long as we take it at least 20 yards downfield, that'll count for George Kittle's X Factor counter, which is looking a little bit poor right now, so let's up it up a bit. George Kittle on the corner route. He's open. He's got the catch. I mean, George Kittle's got a lot of speed, so on that corner route against his zone coverage, man, Kittle's going to get open more often than not. How about the post? You like George Kittle on the post? He can do that too. And just like that, we are at 3 out of 5 on George Kittle's X Factor counter. I'm excited to see what this YAC 'em Up does. I want to run somebody. I want to take somebody's soul with George Kittle lit up, right? So let's get this going as soon as we possibly can. Trying to take a downfield shot for Kittle might have been there, but it would have been so risky. So you notice that I'm actually messing around here with Mostert because the only touchdown we got in this game with George Kittle actually did not count for his X Factor, even though it technically went more than 20 yards downfield, the pass from Garoppolo to Kittle. It didn't count for the X Factor counters. So, as you see, we go for a 4th down and 22 there and do not get it in an awkward-looking play. You know, I didn't want to be at the 18-yard line as Nick Bosa forces the fumble. It's going to be recovered by the Cincinnati Bengals. But yeah, I didn't want to be at the 18-yard line and get a touchdown with Kittle and have it not count again. I'd rather literally get a turnover on downs because, you know, we got to work hard. We got to get 5 catches. This X Factor is not going to be easy. Thankfully for us, you know, George Kittle has many ways to get involved in the game. We can put him as a slot receiver, you know, obviously move him around the tight end position, put him on all sorts of different routes. And how about we just get Kittle open downfield? Is it really that easy? Thank you very much, Mr. Safety, blowing a coverage. And just like that, we are 1 catch away of 20 yards from activating George Kittle's YAC 'em Up X Factor ability. And we're still in the first half, by the way, so we got plenty of time to make this happen. Now, obviously, the way you go is trying to get somebody's X Factor. If I give the ball to George Kittle 20 times in the first half, you think my opponent's going to keep on letting me do that? Probably not. So we're going to have to be a bit more deceptive on ways to get George Kittle involved. You see Richard Sherman getting involved with a one-handed interception. John Ross, you are now Richard Sherman's son. So Yeah, we're going to put Kittle on a corner route once again. You see, Kittle has that route apprentice once again, just like last year. So we could put him on 4 extra hot routes, including the corner route. That is going to activate YAC him up on George Kittle. To knock Kittle out the zone, he cannot... or we have to throw 3 passes away from him or an incompletion intended for George Kittle. Here comes Kittle on the sweep, looking to run somebody over. Kittle falling forward. At the very least, George Kittle is going to fight for extra yardage for you. Now let's see if Kittle can go downfield. No. Like I said, my opponent is completely keen in on George Kittle at this point. He's doubling with the safety over the top along with man coverage, so we're getting basically bracketed with Kittle right now. That's going to get other people open. I mean, that's good, except for the fact that I want George Kittle to get the ball. So he gets down there with the safety, even though it was kind of a bluff. You know, I couldn't throw that pass right there because I don't want to knock George Kittle out the zone. I really want to run somebody over, man. So 2nd down and 17. I mean, I still feel like George Kittle might be our best chance to score a touchdown. So we give Kittle a go. But Jesse Bates, he blocks us, man, and he knocks Kittle out the zone. What a hater Jesse Bates is, man. And as you see, I'm going to intentionally run out of bounds here, so we are not at the 17-yard line. We're at the 24-yard line. We're going to go for it on 4th down and 24 with just a little bit of time left in the first half, and Kittle's going to get the touchdown. How? How do you let George Kittle do that to you after the amount of times we have fed this man the ball in the first half? I don't know. So my goal at this point, as you see, Richard Sherman's on fire because he got the interception from the previous Bengals drive. Richard Sherman will now be out the zone because Giovanni Bernard, like, hello, Gio is still on the Bengals. Hello, Gio. AJ Green, hello, you're on the Bengals as well. You just got a touchdown. But yeah, I'm going to try to get George Kittle's X Factor activated again in this game, but it's going to be very, very hard. So we're skipping around a couple of plays. I try to go to the corner route maybe 1 too many times. My opponent probably shaded his defense outside, and I think it's Maurice Alexander gets the interception there. Either way, Alexander gets the interception, but we'll get it right back. Do not put your hands in the cookie jar. That could have been a pick 6 probably. We could have probably at least taken Mixon along for a ride, but I need to get Kittle back in this game, and that we do! George Kittle downfield, and you'll notice that Kittle is literally being covered by a cornerback right now. That's the issue regarding, you know, the elite tight ends like a Kittle or a Kelsey or a Gronk in his prime. Who do you put on these guys? They're just monsters, right? They're too physical for cornerbacks. You got to double cover them, I suppose. That might just be the antidote as my opponent gets the interception right there. Obviously, you know, I got all eyes on 85. At this point, you know, I really got to force the issue to try to get Kittle this X Factor one more time. We really got to, you know, feed Kittle more than we probably should. Like, we're not even, you know, trying to hide our intent at all. And because of that, the offense, you know, it's not really working. Like, it's going to be really hard. Like, you can get that thing activated once, but getting Kittle's X Factor activated twice, first of all, you have to give somebody the ball 10 times in a 5-minute rank match, and then it has to go for at least 20 yards 10 times. So, I mean, we're giving it a go, right? Like, unfortunately, though, I think my opponent, like, at this point said, anybody but George Kittle. I don't care if I lose. Anybody but George Kittle, I'm fine. But right now, this guy, he's got his head held high right now. He's still thinking about winning this game. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. Joe Burrow, can he lead the comeback? Not like that. Jimmy Ward gets the interception. This time we're not getting down. We're taking this back, not for 6, as Joe Burrow leaves the stadium. Like, all right, Joe Burrow, you want to watch some film on the sideline while you watch Jimmy Ward take this back? Okay, we're going to celebrate. We got to let him know, right? Let him know, like, hey, we can let you keep this game close, right? But it's time for us to put it away. But that could backfire on us because there's no guarantee we win this game. We have left the door legitimately open for a Cincinnati Bengals comeback. Now, we did get the onside kick, and we are close to field goal range. And we do have George Kittle, but we also have Jimmy Garoppolo, so that's going to be incomplete. Now it's 3rd down and 9. Check out, like, this is a beautiful play here, right? We motion A, get him open on the post. I'll just start the Kittle in triple coverage. Now, we really might lose this game. So 4th down and 9. We can't really mess around here. We got to get the first down. And thankfully, Deebo Samuel left on an island, and he just torches William Jackson. Like, he just broke the press before anything even happened. Kittle on the sweep. Whew. Man, we almost took that one all the way. I really wanted to stiff arm right there, but I thought Kittle might just be able to turn on the Jets. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get it done. 3rd down and 4. No, it's not a jet sweep to Kittle. It's a fake. Ball still going to George Kittle. Don't you worry. George Kittle's got himself the first down. That should put this game away, but I mean, for fun's sake, let's try to get a touchdown with George Kittle. You notice Kittle, it feels like he falls forward on almost every single tackle. We get one more snap off before the end of the game, which could backfire if we fumble the ball, but it works out for us. We get the touchdown, and thankfully, since there is a new NFL rule in place for on the final play of the game, if the winning team scores a touchdown, the PAT/2-point conversion doesn't have to happen. It was a slightly controversial thing where, like, you know, if teams scored a touchdown where they were winning on the final play, mainly on defense, when people would lateral. By the way, we have one more game coming up in this video, so don't leave just yet. We're going to get George Kittle to run somebody over. Don't you worry. But, yeah, that rule is, you know, the winning team scores the touchdown. You know, normally they would just leave the stadium and nobody really cared about the PAT, right? No one would even kick it, so they said, all right, if you don't care, we're not going to let you kick it, which is good. And plus, you know, it takes away some anxiousness from bettors, right? Like, if there's like a spread on the line. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyways, let's get into this 49ers versus Green Bay Packers action. Of course, this is a rematch from last season's NFC Championship game, and a game that happened earlier in the regular season. The 49ers won them both in that second game in the championship. The Green Bay Packers made a run, but the Niners ultimately were victorious, mainly on the back of Raheem Mostert. Right now, we're trying to ride George Kittle, who is not open right now. Adrian Amos with the user defender. Yeah, looks like he's there, maybe not. George Kittle's got the catch, and just like that, 2 plays, 2 receptions of over 20 yards. We're well on our way to getting George Kittle this X Factor one more time as we have Kendrick Bourne on the track. We got to be careful. We don't want to go over the 20-yard line, so we go out of bounds. And we're going to try to set up Kittle. And it looks like there's a flag on my opponent. I believe it's pass interference or illegal contact. It's illegal contact. But if we accept it, we go into the red zone. And first of all, Kittle didn't get both feet in bounds. What? That wasn't a catch? All right, I guess we just got to decline the penalty and go to 3rd down and 3. Watch this route by George Kittle. Oh, Darnell, you thought you were a savage. You never met George Kittle. That was a thing of beauty, man. Roasted and toasted on an open campfire. Unfortunately, that was a gain of exactly 20 yards, maybe 19.9. Either way, that didn't count for the George Kittle counter, so we're still at 2 out of 5, even though George Kittle pretty much single-handedly took us all the way downfield. It's all good, though, man. That was the opening drive, and we did that much work. We got a lot of time left to get this thing going, so this guy, my opponent, man, he was Mr. No Huddle. This guy, he was trying to run up-tempo. I think Chip Kelly got control of the Green Bay Packers. Apparently, Mercedes Lewis got control of Richard Sherman in man coverage in 2020. Okay, Sherm, I guess you really are a cover 3 corner if you can't cover Mercedes. Freaking Lewis, like, come on, man. As you see, Aaron Jones gets the handoff. My guy really liked running the ball with Aaron Jones, mainly just bouncing him outside and trying to take advantage of the apparently still bad pursuit angles in Madden. You know, I think they fixed it a little bit in Madden 21, but these guys still just kind of plant their feet and don't contain. Like, the edge defenders do a great job of containing the outside. I've noticed the defensive backs don't when you try to run the ball, so still some work for Team EA Sports, but it's still better than last year at least. It's a more fun game, Madden 21, than last year, I feel like. Some of you guys have been asking me in the comment section how I feel about this year's game, and you know, it's so tough to judge a Madden when it first comes out because eventually someone's going to find something to break the game and ruin everybody's experience. It just happens every single time, right? There's always something that is considered quote-unquote cheese. As Aaron Jones on 4th down is going to run into his own guys, but it doesn't matter. He stays upright. He gets a touchdown. But yeah, you know, everybody will find something cheese. It's just how much you can bear with it for the rest of the year in Madden, how much perhaps you can use it to your advantage. Madden 20, honestly, was the most boring Madden I have ever played. As George Kittle, this is going to be a gain of over 20 yards. Remember, it doesn't have to be downfield. We could just throw the bubble and let Kittle use his pretty elite yard after catch ability, and now we're at 3 out of 5. But yeah, Madden 20 was just so damn boring because of the way people would just run the ball, run, stretch, dive. Like, I think I fell asleep a couple of times playing games, right? But I don't know, this year, man, as long as they don't have that formula, anything but Madden 20, I'm happy with the game, right? It doesn't take much for me to be happy with Madden 21. It doesn't take much to cover George Kittle when you got 2 people downfield. Like, that was a bit ambitious from us. I saw him bite down with the safety. I was like, ooh, we might have a seam here. it was never there. It was absolutely never there. So we end up turning the ball over, and Mr. No Huddle, Mr. I think I'm Chip Kelly out here, is back at it. The only thing he's not doing is having somebody in motion in the backfield every single play. I like that animation, by the way. I like the way that guy fought for the first down, sticking the ball across the line of scrimmage. That's definitely something that was never in Madden, at least not, in the past, like, 10 years of Madden, right? Where the guy, has the awareness that the yard to gain or line is, like, right there. At least, like, the chains, right? And he's like, all right, let me get this extra yard. So that was pretty cool. Even though it worked against me, when I saw that, I was like, even though I really would have preferred to have a third down and 1, I was like, that's pretty cool. So can he convert another 4th down? He's going to go to Aaron Jones again, and he will convert a 4th down. So Mr. No Huddle back at it again, and it's like, hey, it's working for him, right? I can't hate on it too much, except for the fact that, Richard Sherman's kind of putting this guy in a coffin. So at some point, I need that football. But this guy's thinking, I need a touchdown here. He's not thinking too straight, though, because the man has all 3 timeouts, and he's not using any of them. And now the clock really is an issue here. 22 seconds left. He's taking his dear sweet time with Aaron Rodgers. Finally gets the snap off. It's another drag. Mercedes Lewis will not get too far, and finally, he calls a timeout, but, he's at the 21-yard line, only 15 seconds left, and he won't even get a field goal out the drive because he put his hands in the cookie jar. Do not put your hands in the cookie jar because Aaron Rodgers, not only will you not get away with it, you will get embarrassed in the open field by Williams, who goes all the way. A game-changing pick 6 for the good team. I think, unless you're rooting against us, then you were not happy about that. Hey, some people really like to see the YouTuber lose. I've been there, man. I sometimes, man, if I watch a YouTuber play a game, even if it's Madden or a streamer, I'm like, hey, it'd be fun to see them lose, right? And, I'm not only uploading wins, right? If we lose games, if we get people in the zone, I don't mind uploading those. I'm really just a focus on getting people their X factors. Winning and losing, that's secondary. But thankfully for us, we do manage to win these games more often than not. The games that we lose are the games where I don't even get their X factors activated. I just completely fail, and I don't even get anything from myself. I don't get anything enjoyable. But right now, it's all good, all gravy, man. Like, we've been winning left and right now. It's 3rd down and 8. In order to win this game, we're going to need to get a stop on defense at some point that doesn't involve us getting a user pick, and that will technically count for us before Aaron Rodgers out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down and 3. It's no Aaron Jones run. Instead, it's Rodgers, gunslinger inside, but Lazard is lit up. Turnover on downs. We haven't been on offense in quite a while, man. In fact, I think we've only had 1 drive, or 2 drives on offense, man. We had a touchdown, we had a pick. Number 3 ends in a touchdown for George Kittle, straight down the seams. It looked like the way we threw the interception on the previous drive. I was like, is this like, should I throw this, man? I second-guessed it for maybe like 0.1 of a second. I was like, George Kittle, it looks like you're open. Thankfully, I trusted my instincts there to where I just slinged it to Kittle because it worked out for us. We got the touchdown, and now we are that much closer to getting YAC 'em up activated one more time on George Kittle. So now we have the 14-point lead, which hopefully means that Aaron Jones won't break the single-game rushing record against us because damn sure feels like he was on pace for the amount of time this guy was running hurry up. But he has been slinging the rock a lot. It's just that he has been on offense for so many plays because he keeps on running no huddle. It's been working for him, but his Achilles heel will be that he keeps on putting his hands in the cookie jar. Fred Warner will not let you get away with that. Fred Warner now a superstar this year. This 49ers team is absolutely stacked with talent. We had Bosa lit up in the last game. We had Sherm lit up in the last game. Oh, Kittle, man. You are not the human joystick in the open field. Let's not do that again. 3rd down and 6. Oh, my goodness. That was supposed to go for a 6. Thank you very much, Madden gods, for letting us get away with that. So on 4th down and 6, we can avoid the pass rush and go downfield to Mr. You-Know-Who, George Kittle, who now has YAC 'em up activated as we go to the start of the 4th quarter. We're going to put Kittle in motion. This counts as a catch. So now let's see if Kittle can bowl his way in for a touchdown. It's bully ball. George Kittle, YAC 'em up, and up. Oh, yeah, that's what we came to see. George Kittle, shoulder down, and keep pushing. Like, that's exactly what you want to see from an X factor that says you are more likely to break your first tackle post-catch, because that is exactly what happened, and then some to that poor Green Bay Packer. And that was a defensive back, so that dude really deserved all the smoke from George Kittle. I don't think we deserve to get sacked right here, because nobody blocked 90. Like, I think that, you know, I think we deserved a little bit more time in the pocket. Jimmy G did not deserve to get a beatdown. So, unfortunately for us, even though George Kittle is lit up, we won't get to see George Kittle again because my opponent's, spoiler alert, is going to get intercepted on this play from Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman's going to get his X Factor, but we won't get to see that either because this guy's going to rage quit, even though I tried to make him not rage quit by taunting him and trying to keep him in the game. He was out. He rage quit. So that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you guys had some fun with this George Kittle, man. Definitely leave a like if you guys enjoyed George Kittle running that poor solo over for a touchdown. Let me know what X Factor you guys want to see activated next in the comment section. Subscribe for more Madden 21 gameplays. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you, as always, for watching.